The NFL landscape just shifted. At 4 p.m. today, the franchise deadline passed, and the no-tag list is an absolute goldmine of talent. We're talking about a Super Bowl MVP, a triple threat pass rush class, and a massive quarterback shakeup in the desert. The headline today: newly crowned Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks own Kenneth Walker is now on free agency. And what does that say for many teams looking to add a running back to their backfield? He's not alone. Trey Hendrickson is officially done in Cincinnati. He posted a farewell to the jungle earlier today. Plus, the Jaguars are letting Travis Etienne Jr. test the market, and the Ravens didn't tag Tyler Linderbaum, setting him up to become one of the highest paid centers in NFL history. But the biggest shockwave didn't come from a non-tag. It came from a release. The Arizona Cardinals are officially done with Kyler Murray, and it seems like this once hopeful quarterback now has an opportunity to try something else outside of the state of Arizona. Here's the craziest part. Kyler Murray is guaranteed $36.8 million going into this next season, which means whatever team picks him up, Arizona will pay that deduction on whatever he goes. So in reality, a team can pay the bare minimum, and Kyler Murray is still guaranteed that $36.8 million. So the opportunities for any team to go after and either have him as a starter or a second string is completely open. There are a lot of teams that definitely need that extra quarterback just in case. The craziest part is teams like Cleveland, like the Jets, and maybe even the Vikings, who desperately need to figure out the QB situation, can have a top-level quarterback for a minimum and guaranteed that he can still play and hopefully do something in a different team than he's done in the past in Arizona. Now, this doesn't mean that this is a be-all, fix-all, and it definitely doesn't mean that it will answer the questions that need to be solved with Kyler Murray. But as of right now, Arizona is officially on the clock, and it seems like their first-round pick may be a franchise QB. But don't be too sad, because our defensive boys are getting a massive payday. The Los Angeles Chargers' own Odafe Oweh is about to be hit with one of the biggest contracts this offseason, and it seems like a lot of teams are very excited to try and get in contact with him come next week. With the Raiders currently in limbo right now with whether they're going to keep Max Crosby or Max Crosby is going to give them a second first-round pick, I would definitely look at the Raiders, the Bengals, and even the Buccaneers to kind of boost their defense going into this next season. And most importantly, look at the Raiders and kind of see what they're doing right now. It does definitely seem like Max Crosby wants to stay in Las Vegas, but the Raiders see a future without him, and that could potentially include 1, 2, maybe even 3 first-round picks. Now, let's talk about the Super Bowl champion. Boye Mafe is 27. He just won a Super Bowl, and he's about ready to prove that he was a pivotal part at getting that ring. Now, it does look like he is projected to get a 3-year, $45 million deal. And there are a lot of teams looking at him with that price range. And it definitely could help when you need to boost your defense in such a high-powered league that we've had the last couple of years. I would say the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Cowboys are definitely going to look and see what they can get out of this newly released Super Bowl champion. But don't count the Cowboys out yet, because the Cowboys are still looking for a lot of good. And Jamel Dean might also be a future Dallas Cowboy. But it seems like the Detroit Lions, the Packers, and the Saints have their eye on Jamel Dean. With 3 years, $55 million kind of being spread around, it definitely seems like if you are going to try and put everything you can into Jamel Dean and your defense, you definitely need to have the salary cap to do so. So it will be interesting when you have a lockdown corner trying to boost themselves to finally get a Super Bowl ring. Now, do I think that Detroit has the best opportunity? I'm going to list it off. Number one, most realistic, I would have to say the Packers. Then we'll go Detroit. And to end it off, we will go New Orleans. New Orleans has the potential to get a very good team built together within the next 5 years and potentially be a Super Bowl contender, but I don't think it's right now. And that's not saying that they're not good. It's just they're not ready. And I understand what people are going to say. And obviously, their season record showed that. But that's not a bad thing. That just means they have a few more years to develop, kind of get some good free agency, maybe a couple of good draft picks. And then who knows? Jamel Dean, if he's with the Saints at that time, he may be holding the Lombardi. But as of right now, his best bets are going to be in Green Bay. So what now? Where do we go into the weekend and into the rest of the week and try to figure out what's going to happen in the NFL? Well, let me give you some dates. Monday, March 9th is when the legal tampering happens and agents can start making calls. Owners can start trying to figure out if they want to talk to these guys, what kind of deals, and of course, always the nicest part about offseason, get to be flown out and get to be pampered a little bit while having teams try to bid your work. Now, March 11th is when this gets really real. This gets super scary for a lot of different teams and a lot of different divisions in the NFL. March 11th is when ink hits paper. And what does that mean? That means that everybody can start being signed. And most importantly, what are the draft picks going to look like? And what is the future going to look like in the draft order? Now, if you want my opinion, I feel like the Raiders are definitely going to trade Max Crosby and hopefully to the Dallas Cowboys for the number 12 pick so that we can, one, boost our defense, and two, the Raiders can get not only a new franchise quarterback, but also work a little bit on their backfield, try to figure out what they need to do to finally get over that hump and be a contender in the AFC West. This being one of the most open free agencies that we've had in a very long time, I definitely want to know, which player are you looking at for your team? Let me know. Comment down, share this video, and kind of give your thoughts on where we are going in the NFL. Now, be sure to hang around the city. Go check out some other videos. Speaking of the NFL, I just had our newest interview with LaRon McCoy, former Arizona Cardinal, and also NFL agent. So it'll be interesting to see where you can pick the brain of how the NIL works in college and what players really need to focus on going into that next step and being in that next level. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Remember to pay your tab with a like, comment, subscribe, and also just enjoy yourselves. Just enjoy yourself. Doing great. And I'll see you guys around downtown.